After months of denials, President Joe Biden has abruptly reversed course and offered a sweeping pardon to his son, Hunter.
The move comes just days before the younger Biden was set to be sentenced on federal gun and tax charges. Doug Luzader has more from Capitol Hill this morning. Doug, good morning.
Good morning, and Joe Biden is not the first president to have a controversial pardon at the very end of his presidency. Nevertheless, this one is going to get a lot of scrutiny. President Biden boarded Air Force One last night, ignoring questions about his pardon for his son. He had just dropped that bombshell before leaving the country for Africa.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
But that was back in June, when Biden was still running for a second term. For months, he never equivocated, and his press secretary even grew impatient with the question.
Is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well, is there,
I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But after repeatedly saying he trusted the process that found his son Hunter guilty on federal tax and gun charges, Biden issued a statement seeming to indict his own Justice Department yesterday, writing, "Raw politics has infected this process, and it led to a miscarriage of justice."
I think he wanted to issue it now so that it would come before sentencing. I think that the political hit would have been even more severe if the judges, as everyone expected, sentenced Hunter Biden to serve hard time.
President-elect Trump referenced his supporters who stormed the Capitol back in 2021 when he responded on Truth Social last night. Does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages who have now been imprisoned for years? Such an abuse and miscarriage of justice. And some of Trump's most vocal critics lashed out at Biden.
Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, we've been screaming. Joe Biden repeatedly lied about this.
Now, what is striking about this pardon, beyond the fact that it's for a family member, is that it is sweeping. It is not just related to the charges that Hunter Biden faced on gun and tax issues. It's for any federal crime he may have committed over an almost 11-year period, even things that we may not be aware of. Back to you guys.
Right, 11 years, which goes back to when the president was then vice president, so it sort of insulates Hunter Biden from any future prosecutions for anything that any criminality that may have happened that they've investigated, new investigations.
It goes back to the time that Hunter Biden began working for the controversial time that he worked for Burisma. I mean, that seems to be the date that this thing is pegged at, back in 2014.
And then goes until like midnight last night, right? Like goes until
yesterday. So I mean, it actually went a few hours into the future for Hunter Biden, right. Which kind of, he could have done something last night, for instance, and still been covered by the dates of this pardon.
All right. No doubt he's going to be facing more questions during the final weeks of his administration. Doug Luzader, live for us in Washington. We appreciate it, Doug. Thank you.
Thank you.